All right, you might say, getting video of myself speaking is such a complicated ordeal. Do I have to have video of myself speaking to an audience? Well, if you're already a celebrity in your field and people are lining up to give you lots of money to speak, no. But if you're not a celebrity and you want to make a living as a speaker, the answer is yes, you have to have a video, because to be taken seriously as a professional speaker in the internet age, you must have a website. If you have a website with no video of you actually performing for an audience, you might as well not have a website, because nobody wants to hire a speaker sight unseen. Until they can actually see you perform, they can't be certain you can even speak the language well, let alone if you're any good. There's no use contacting any speakers bureaus until you have a decent preview video, because they really won't want to represent you without one. And they won't give you a page on their website unless there's a link to a video of you in action. So, lots of reasons. Before you can start marketing yourself as a professional speaker, you simply must have a video. If you have deep pockets and can afford to hire a production crew and someone to edit your video, great. Go for it. If you have limited resources and want to do it more inexpensively, I have quite a few tips, because I've been doing guerrilla videotaping for quite a while. Here's how I did it. After I had done about a dozen service club speeches and was getting very good response every time, I bought a little Sony Handycam video camera and a tripod. I used my free speeches to learn how to videotape myself as well as speak. And I also pressed my sweet wife into service as a videographer. After a bit of trial and error, together we figured out how to shoot a speech that would give us the best chance of getting some sharp-looking footage for a preview video. When I say preview, that's exactly what I mean. There's no need for a video of your entire presentation if you're just getting started. Later, after you've got a dozen or more bookings under your belt, you'll want to videotape your whole presentation, so you can make a DVD you can sell online and in the back of the room. After you perform, you might have books, you might have all kind of products, merch. You'll have a DVD as well, so a whole one would be worthwhile. Right now, you need a well-produced and edited 5 to 6 minute preview of what you do, showing you in the best light, of course. Hardly anybody you'll be dealing with wants to see more than that anyway. Speakers bureaus have to look at hundreds of them every year. So the quicker you can get their attention, give them a good feel for what you do, the better. Don't want to drag it out. Now, you don't have to hire professionals to videotape you, although, sure, I admit they're likely to get better results than you can on your own. However, even that's not guaranteed, as I have found out after 2 or 3 disappointing and expensive experiences. The fact that video camera technology has gotten so advanced that you can get very good results, certainly good enough to make your first preview tape, for a few $100s, not the thousands the pros pay for their high-end equipment. Here are a few things that my wife and I learned that you might find useful. Get shots from several angles that show you're actually speaking to an audience. The bigger the better, of course. From the back of the room, get the backs of 50 or more people's heads in the foreground. And if you're performing in the background, or from the side, put yourself in one side of the frame and a portion of the audience in the other. You're really talking to an audience. They know that now. Put the camera on a tripod for stability and zoom in for lots of close-ups. This would be a chest up, and medium shots that are about knees up. Choreograph your moves with your camera person so he or she doesn't have to chase you around the stage. Moving around is fine, but make sure your videographer knows when to plan a wider shot, so keep you in the shot. Plan your shots in advance so you'll be sure to capture the portions you definitely want on the preview video. For example, some places where you want to be sure to hear people laughing or applauding. Buy a long life battery for your camera. I was stunned to find out that I could go online and buy a battery that lasts about 10 times longer than the one that came with my little camera. That eliminates the need for being inhibited by extension cords or even finding a power source. If you have several laughs in your speech, be sure to plan ahead so your videographer knows when to aim the camera at the crowd to capture people laughing. Instruct them not to swing the camera at the audience when they hear a laugh. They'll be too late. The image will be jumpy. Pick a good group of laughers and keep the shot on them for as long as it takes to get a good reaction. Remember that two different audiences, if they're similarly lit, you can edit crowd reaction from one speech into another. When the speech is over and the hall is empty, you can set up where you were speaking and get some excellent up-close video with great sound and cut it into the final product. If you perform well, looking where you had been looking when the audience was there, it'll never occur to a viewer that you shot that portion of your speech without an audience in front of you.
Well, I hope that was helpful, but there's a whole lot more information where that came from. In fact, if you want to see the other 2/3 of the tips and recommendations that I make on that very topic, just go to fasttrackprospeaking.com. There's a whole treasure trove of information that'll help put you on the fast track to professional speaking. Thanks for stopping by and good luck with your career.